host for the following program. If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. Look, I took a poll and we all don't care about your Herbalife supplements.
And that's supposed to make you look younger. Is there a refund window, like 30 days free or something like that? Well, it's just not working. It's not working. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. I'll be Deacon too. We'll both be Deacon. JJ's terrible at this job anyway. Deacon is good.
JJ's not paying attention. He's talking to the imaginary Cindy that's to his right.
There's nobody in my house. I'm by myself.
You're the only person there. Hello, sir. How are you today?
Oh, man.
I was trying to fix my clock, but it always says 6:30, so I guess we're on
Seems
time.
fine to me.
Yeah,
wow.
It looks like we're on time. So it's
10.
got a battery, doesn't it? I don't find where you can put the battery in.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that it just I don't know.
Right.
I can't find it.
Look, I'll take the whoopings. It's my fault. It's my fault. I was up too late.
A little late, yeah. To explain why
I was. Well, normally it's because I can't think of a very good title. We have a pretty, but last night I was up till 1 a.m. I'm 45 years old. I was up till 1 a.m.
Partying, playing video games, right? Drinking beer,
painting my daughter's room purple.
Oh, that's what a 45-year-old does until 1 a.m. in the morning. You don't play rock bands, drinking vodka until 1 a.m.
Oh my God, that doesn't even sound fun at all. It sounds no fun.
Tell about painting your daughter's room for a second. I got to talk.
Normally I might fall asleep reading a book. I might lay in bed and be like, I'm gonna read this book until really late. I'm gonna stay up reading this book, and I'll get like 3 pages in, and I'll be like, I'm so tired. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Your Two Dads, where every morning Deacon and I will meet and we'll drink coffee and we'll talk about news or politics or just whatever's in the headlines or whatever. And we usually meet at 6:30-ish. 6:30-ish. Okay. So that's what we do. That's awesome. What we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm awesome.
How was your? Yeah. Tell us about music, please. Every morning he tells us something about music that I didn't know. You're gonna blow my mind with music.
I'm probably not this one. You know what I'm going to blow your mind with? I'm going to blow your mind with a train noise.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. I've got a question for you. This was I
need a choo choo sound effect.
This was a question that was poised on Reddit. You do need you want a choo choo sound effect? Turn on your recorder right now. Turn it on. Listen.
It would drive you so crazy if we were just talking and there was randomly extra trains.
That's called the Doppler effect, boys and
girls. Now, was it your idea to build a radio station right next to the train tracks?
We consulted professional engineers to come up with, and they said you need to put your studio 30 yards from the nearest train track. Okay. And I was like, brilliant. We just had a thing the other day with a very big radio consultant. This guy is big. He's worked with some humongous household names that everyone knows. And I told him that about the railroad and the train track right beside my studio. And I said, man, for 5 years, I've been racking my brain trying to come up with a name for our radio station. The boxcar, the rail, the crossing, something K95, whatever. I want it to and I can't come up with anything that rolls off the tongue and sounds good, because I liked the Rail 95.
Oh yeah, that's
But
real good.
It just kind of didn't flow very well. So
you got to think about the merchandise though. There's merchandise options if you do the Rail.
Oh, radio station don't merchandise. We give away free stuff, JJ. All right. So for those of you that don't know, I am a professional musician, or a professional. I am a professional musician. I've been paid to do that before, but I'm a professional music DJ and person that knows a shitload about music that probably should know as much as I do. For Father's Day, this is our theme this week. We're wrapping it up today. For Father's Day, my kids and Ashley got me tickets to Louder Than Life Thursday night show at Louisville. You can look up Louder Than Life and look at the 4-day schedule of all of the hundreds of bands that's going to be there. Thursday night's probably the night that I would have picked, because the Foo Fighters were always my number one concert bucket list. Ashley and I go to a lot of concerts. We're concert junkies, and both of us had never seen the Foo Fighters. Both of us always wanted to see the Foo Fighters. It was the number one band that I always said when somebody said, if there's any band that you'd like to see, who would it be? I wouldn't even have to think. Every time I always said Foo Fighters. I've never seen the Foo Fighters, and I've always wanted to see the Foo Fighters. I think it would be a great freaking show. I love that band. I love the Foo Fighters. And what I say down there is what I've always said about the Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters are the standard definition for American rock band. If you were to say, play one piece of music for aliens that would define American rock music, it would be from the Foo Fighters. That to me is the definition of what
they are, the standard rock band.
Standard rock band. All right. And I tried to pick, everybody knows all these hundreds of Foo Fighters songs. There's so many that you've heard so many. I tried to give you a couple today to add to our list that maybe you haven't heard. These two Foo Fighters songs are probably my favorite ones. These two and Everlong. I love Everlong. Always been my favorite song by them. But Alandria I think that's the town in Virginia where Dave Grohl grew up, is Alandria. And Dear Rosemary are two of Foo Fighters' best songs that they've ever done. And they've never had very much radio play at all. If radio stations played it, it was a deep cut that some DJ did and got in trouble for. All right. These were not top 40 hits, but they are probably their best songs, in my opinion. So listen and check those out today. You can get
those.
That
is pretty good.
You can get those.
Alandria is pretty good.
Alandria is great. Wait until the end. The end has this little catchy little freaking riff at the end that is just, man, it's great. It gives me goosebumps thinking about how great these.
I do not dispute you that they may be the standard rock band, but how is it that we had rock and roll for decades? And we're talking massive, massive major bands. And yet somehow Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters are like, do they just have like such strong core competencies that they're just like, kind of like,
yeah.
I mean, they're so good that they can kind of be the middle and still be outstanding, and not middle in any.
Well, it just goes to show you it don't have to be complicated. Good rock songs are simple. Because look at the formula for each of the Foo Fighters rock songs that were hits. It's like intro, verse, chorus, guitar solo, chorus, ending. And that's the standard outline for a song, and that's what most of those songs are. Verse, chorus, solo, chorus, right. Chorus, end. That's a song. And so I think Dave Grohl proved that you don't have to overcomplicate songs to have a hit song. He wrote a bunch of songs when he was younger, and Kurt Cobain was a kind of a narcissist, man. Kurt Cobain doesn't need to be put up on a he doesn't need to be put up on a pedestal like everybody does. Everybody does that because they don't know about Kurt Cobain. They just know what they've been told. They haven't researched. But Kurt Cobain was a little bit of a narcissist. He never wanted. He was not a little bit. He was a narcissist. He did not want to play any of Dave Grohl's songs. He only wanted to play his songs. So after Kurt's death, Dave Grohl was like, I want to record my songs. And Kurt Novoselic, the bass player, did something else. He joined another band. So Dave, that first Foo Fighters album is Dave. He plays the drums, the bass, the guitar.
He does everything in it.
He does everything. I think he went and I think the final cut, there's a couple of drummers that he had come in and set. I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I love the album notes. I used to read album notes. I love that crap. But it's what you said. Yeah, it's they don't have to. They are the standard definition because you don't have to overcome.
It's not.
Things.
And I'm not saying he like their songs are vanilla. No. But I'm agreeing with you. Like, I mean, I just think it's amazing that we had like so many major bands tour the world and make cultural impact for decades, and yet somehow it's pretty arguable. You could make a strong argument that Foo Fighters are the baseline from which everything else is kind of judged.
I challenge anyone today to load up the Foo Fighters song All My Life and listen to it all the way through without the one point in the song where you're going to go.
Okay.
You are. Every freaking time there's that one point at the end of the song where they and you're just I challenge you to try to not nod your head in that song All My Life.
That's pretty good.
All right. There's our music today.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I could talk a whole hour, and we could have a whole hour-long show about just music.
You can, for sure.
I do it 4 hours every. I do it 9 hours every day. 4 hours.
Yeah. All right. So, Deacon's top story of the day. Deacon, this is Deacon's story of the day. Deacon wanted this. This is what we're doing. Today's episode, everybody. Zuckerberg v. Musk Deathmatch.
I love
Deathmatch. I tried to get an AI to generate a photo, but it just looks so bad. So I just went and grabbed one of Zuckerberg doing jujitsu.
I started to say that dude looks like Zuckerberg.
No,
there it is. Okay.
That is. So if you don't know this, Deke, maybe you don't. Apparently, Zuck has been rather publicly training and doing like jujitsu for a while. So like, you know,
I mean, his Android base model is an older model, so it would have to do updates and
it's trying to do
like continuing education for doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, that's basically what.
Right.
So he's got an older model. Android.
Yeah, apparently Zuckerberg and Musk are now in a tete-a-tete. I think that's how you say that.
That's easy for you to say. All right.
Tete-a-tete.
We call that down here in the South, JJ. We say we got a tift. Y'all got a tift.
A tift?
Y'all got a little tift with each other.
Seems like they're involved in a scuffle.
A scuffle?
Let me just first say that this story is on Forbes.com. And while I like Forbes, fuck Forbes and their ads. Literally, this ad took up 1/2 of the screen.
And
like the story didn't even start until under 50% of my screen was covered with some ad for T-Mobile or some trash. Yeah. And then I was like, what the? And then there were pop-ups at the bottom. I was like, do I get to see any words? No. All right, here's the story from Forbes. I ate the ads. Everybody
nothing but to steal the. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh man, I'm just.
You're all right. You're good.
I went on just talking. All right. Good morning. Did I mention I slept for 4 hours? Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg vowed to fight in a cage match, and they might be serious. So it started when I guess Zuckerberg was playing around on Twitter, and he replied to a tweet about Facebook that might be developing a Twitter competitor.
Yeah.
As you guys know, obviously, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $44 billion, fired everybody, and has made it really good.
Wait a minute. I just have a question here. Isn't Facebook itself a Twitter competitor? I mean, isn't Twitter?
I mean, they're both social media, Facebook? But Twitter's model is more like micro blogging and short messages, short public messages to everybody. And Facebook's model is more like, I don't know, you're like everything in your entire house, and you know what I mean. Like they have It's
Seems
kind of
redundant
a
to me.
mess.
Seems like that's a waste of money.
Well, you could think that if you thought about Instagram. Oh, Facebook bought Instagram, but can't you already post photos on Facebook? Yeah, but people don't like to look at Facebook.
You bring up a brilliant you got me. That is a brilliant piece of advice. I have actually said something akin to that in the past before. I had an invention that I was going to make. I still think you can make it. It's a hard piece of leather that's shaped like a V that you can attach to a wall corner, like a door frame or a wall corner. And at the top of this thing either has some hard rubber spikes or nubs, hard rubber nubs. And it's for hairy, itchy back people like me to scratch my back, because I'm constantly going up to a wall corner and doing that on my back like a bear in the woods. So I thought, why don't I attach something to the to the wall corner and make something? And I argued, JJ, what you just said. I said, why would people buy that? Because they've already got a corner. Why would they spend $15 on something they could attach to the corner? Because, and this is how I said it, because VCR rewinders existed. And people in businesses had them. So you're right. People are dumb, and they will. You didn't come out and quite say that, but you're right.
I know, but
will consume all kinds of stuff.
It's kind of a like the use experience, right? The use experience is you log into Facebook and there's shit out all over everything. Mm-hmm. But you go into Instagram and it's like photo, and you go on Twitter and it's like tweet, garbage. Hey, that's funny. You know what I mean? So like it's a lot more focused. I guess you could say Twitter is a lot more focused on what it is. And by the way, they actually make something that you can scratch your back.
I've got a wooden back scratcher I joke that's the best. I spent $1 on about 15 years ago, and when I picked up that back scratcher every single freaking night and use it, I used it before I left the house this morning. It's a wooden back scratcher, and I told Ashley knows, and the kids know because I say it all the time. I'll say, best dollar I ever spent. That's the best. That wooden back scratcher is the best dollar I ever spent. I told Ashley I would have bought this wooden back scratcher now, knowing how much use I get out of that thing. I'd spend $100 for it, because I get so much use out of that. I've got one. I just thought, but that's a good point. They make a back scratcher, but people would still buy mine, and people will still consume. So you make a good point. You prove me wrong. People will. Facebook, it's redundant, but Instagram, Twitter. Okay. Long way to go.
So here's the conversation. It was Mario Narfall was posting about Meta making the Twitter competitor for Facebook, and then Elon's replied, "I'm sure the Earth can't wait to be exclusively under Zuck's thumb with no other options. At least there will be at least it will be sane." Was worried for a minute.
At least it'll be sane.
And then,
okay.
And then somebody replied to Elon, and the greatest thing about Elon is like the richest dude in the world. And he spends a disproportionate of his time goofing around, and it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And he will actually reply to normal people.
He's got a sense of humor. That's what I like about Elon. I might not agree with everything about him, but the man has a sense of humor. That goes miles with me. Miles. Kilometers for you do good. That's kilometers for you.
So some rando person who's not even a blue check, doesn't pay $8, just was like commenting on this. Be careful. I heard he does jujitsu now. And then Elon replied, "I'm up for a cage match if he is." So somebody else was doing AI. So now we have a Forbes article about a potential fight. So it seemed like a joke, right? But then Zuckerberg posted a screenshot of Musk's tweet to Instagram with the words, send me location.
Send me location.
So either Zuckerberg has a sense of humor, which I just don't believe, or Zuckerberg's really willing to fight Elon Musk.
Okay. Let's think this through logically real quick.
Sure.
two of the richest men in the world.
Yes.
Are their board of directors, insurance companies, whoever, hundreds of multitudes of people underneath them going to allow these two billionaires to potentially get into this harmful situation? No, they're not.
You don't think so?
Absolutely not. This will never happen.
Dude, this is a real photo. Zuckerberg is really competing in jiu-jitsu.
Good for him.
And
but do you
and
know
who
how
is going to
many
tell
people's
Elon no?
assholes are clenched up that are Zuckerberg people or his insurance, his lawyers, how many people do you think that work for Zuckerberg that are like, he's doing what? Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah,
oh
but,
my
yeah,
God.
but he's doing that right now.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Do you know how many people he's making nervous?
Tell me what. Yeah, I'm sure he's making people nervous. Tell me what lawyer is going to go up to Elon and be like, we can't do that because of insurance. Because Elon would be like, oh, you're fired.
Elon don't make all the decisions all the time. The board of the directors and stuff, or his companies make the decisions, so they can kind of tell him what to do with certain things. And if he's putting his
things,
if I got to talk in 4 seconds, I can't make my
yeah, okay, all right. So Musk replied with a tweet by a reporter. So Musk is on Twitter, and then Zuckerberg is replying and posting these comments on Instagram, and then Musk brings it back to Twitter. They're promoting their own platforms. Make no mistake. Part of this is promoting their own platforms, but I think Musk just likes Twitter. So Musk replied.
I didn't know what you were reading. Go ahead.
Musk replied to a tweet by a reporter from The Verge indicating that he'd like to fight Zuckerberg in a Las Vegas octagon. Musk went on to say, I have this great move, which I call the walrus, where I just lay down on the opponent and don't do anything and make it into a big joke. And so now, let me just pitch this. Joe Rogan as referee. Right? How else can we amp this up? How else could it be better? And Joe Rogan required to make fun of both of them on the mic while they're fighting.
This will never happen. It's never going to happen. It's a funny little joke.
Do Good says that Elon would just buy the insurance company if there's a problem.
But I don't. I know what y'all are saying, but in my mind, there's too many people that would be like, no, you're not doing this.
No.
Yeah, I don't care if you're the richest guy in the world.
There would be a lot of
because this is what I would say, because you're the richest guy in the world is one of the main reasons why you shouldn't do this. You're not an average person. You're not an average Joe. If you were to have a catastrophic injury, because you are not a trained MMA fighter that's been training for your whole freaking life, and this is a joke, and so even if you do get a catastrophic injury, what does that say for the millions of people that work under you, that their livelihoods depend on your businesses and stuff? You're putting other people's livelihood. This is how I would go through it. And then you're kind of going out on limbs on some of that, but none of it is incorrect. This is a joke.
I'm wondering if Elon Musk is actually trained in martial arts at all.
I don't know.
He might be. I don't know. All right. What do you want to talk about next?
Well,
we have to talk about the sub.
One story is the sub, so we should get to it. I posted a bunch of stuff that was interesting.
Yeah, you did.
That the media wasn't showing you yesterday. So do you want? Let's just go to the main story, and I'll get some of these other little half things up because I didn't want to touch on them too much.
Let me flip through here. You got a bunch of stuff in here. Let's see. Which one is the main story?
So the main
Deadline,
story,
maybe?
is that of course you've probably already heard right here. This Twitter, I got it yesterday, and at 2:30 in the afternoon, the debris field was discovered within the search area of the ROV near the Titanic, and I think they said that they had found pieces of, so they have confirmed that the thing imploded down
Yeah.
What they think that it imploded as soon as it got down there and whatnot.
I heard the term catastrophic failure.
Here we go.
So this means that all of that knocking stuff we were hearing about was never
could have been anything.
Was
landing gear, rear cover, and frame of missing submarine Titan has been found by the Atlantic by the U.S. GC. Maybe that's supposed to is that supposed to be CG, Coast Guard? The submarine had a catastrophic implosion, most likely due to low-quality carbon fiber hull of sub. You see that? Most likely due to the low-quality carbon fiber hull of the sub. Now, remember that. That's going to come in later. That's foreshadowing for some.
Carbon fiber.
All the passengers died on the spot in this catastrophic implosion without suffering or suffocating. Titanic submersible Titan imploded 4 days ago. There's zero chance of recovery of remains of the passengers. So that's one of the tweets that came out. Let me see if I can let me pull back up. I think it was this story that had there was one of the stories that was talking about how the son of that billionaire didn't really want to go. He was scared.
Oh, really?
He was scared. He was frightened about going down to the bottom of the ocean. He was scared. He really didn't want to go. And the only reason he went was because his dad was a huge Titanic fan and he wanted to please his dad. And I can't find that now.
Is that the independent one?
I don't know. I was just looking at that independent one and I was scrolling, trying to scroll through. Let me share this other one right here. Do you know Josh Gates? Does that name sound familiar? He does Expedition Unknown. He's done a bunch.
Oh yeah. I started watching his show just recently.
Yeah, I love him. He's a really interesting dude. I like him because he's kind of like me. He wants to believe. But if there is feasible evidence, even if he doesn't want to believe it, but if it's feasible to him, it's feasible and he dismisses it. So I'm kind of like him. I kind of like them. So look, he's sitting there with Stockton Rush inside the sub right now. And you can read the line. It says he dove in Titanic sub, but decided against going down again to film because the craft did not perform well.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Gates indicated there's more to history and design of Titan that has not been made public, much of it concerning. I had the unique opportunity to dive in the OceanGate Titan sub with Stockton at the helm in preparation for its maiden mission to Titanic, wrote Gate on Twitter. To those asking, Titan didn't perform well on my dive. Ultimately, I walked away from a huge opportunity to film Titanic due to my safety concerns with the OceanGate platform, he continued. That's probably a good thing. That Expedition Unknown, that would have been the last. We would have never seen that Expedition
for
Unknown
real.
episode.
That show would have been canceled.
Yeah. He said, I pray for positive outcome. Of course, we know that it's not a positive outcome. Wait, I'm not done with this. I've got one more for you, JJ. I got one more for you. This is, I'm not going to say a word. Hang on. Let me pause it before it starts talking here. I'm going to turn it up. It's 20 seconds long. Okay?
Okay. All right.
I'm not going to say a word. I'm going to let it speak for itself. Listen to what he says here at the end. Let me bigonate it for you. This is Stockton Rush. This is the man that died. This is the guy, the pilot of the Titanic sub and whatnot, the engineer of the sub. Here we go.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was General MacArthur said, you're remembered for the rules you break. And, I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did.
Let me play it for you again right there where he said.
I mean, the carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did.
Wow.
The only words going through my mind right now are they rhyme with thumb and suck. And what a dumbass.
Well,
that dude, it makes me so angry. It makes me so okay. So first of all,
lost their lives. Or these other 4 people lost their lives because of that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes me so mad that these people were so careless with their lives and with their risk. There was no reason to go to the bottom of the ocean in a fucking vending machine with duct tape.
Look
Okay.
underneath the ad there. I'm not hitting that thing, but I just wanted to show you the young boy, that young boy's. Look at him. Look how handsome that man is.
Yeah.
He had.
Yeah. It's tragic. It's tragic.
I see these young kids today, and I look at that. I can tell I'm getting old because I look at these. We went to the ballpark last night to my girls' tournament game, and I was watching my son Alex play with the kids over there and stuff, and he's huge like a man and whatnot. And I was, you know, these kids have their whole freaking lives ahead of them. You know, it's just.
But you're the dad.
And I'm the dad
so,
now,
you know.
and I don't. So I'm kind of like, I don't give a crap.
You could be like, come on, son, we got to go to the Fish concert. Come on, we got to go. It's going to be on a boat in the ocean. It's going to be a Fish concert. And your kid would be like, I don't really want to go. But you're the dad, right? Mm-hmm. You would go. My analogy.
My son would.
I'm just trying to.
My son would. He would do something.
Yeah. Okay.
To
Sure.
me.
Sure.
He would do something
dangerous. Would he something dangerous to try to?
Yeah, I think they would. Unfortunately, I think they would.
Yeah.
But I try not to present that type of parenting to them to where they feel like they have to impress their father. They have to impress me. I try to make a point to tell my children. I've told Ashley it's a delicate balance because I don't want to oversaturate it to where this word doesn't mean anything to them. But I want to make sure that they hear that I'm proud of you. I don't want to say it. Oh, I'm proud of you. Yeah. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you about everything because that waters down the word and it doesn't make it mean anything. You know, it's like the word. I always thought.
It does have to be sincere.
Right.
They can tell when you're not being sincere.
So it's when something. I'm proud of you for this. You did this. Yeah. You made this decision. You went through something hard. You made it through it. I'm very proud of you. How you approach this situation. I try to make them. You know, so I don't want my kids to ever feel like that they have to strive to impress dad, you know, because I've felt like I've had to strive to impress dad my whole life, and I don't want them to feel that way, you know. So.
Well, this whole story, I mean, the scale of it is, I think I said yesterday, it's about the scale as if like a Cessna crashed and 5 people died.
Yeah, you're right with that.
Except it's like it's a little thing in the middle of the ocean, and we've spent ungodly resources trying to find these people that, I mean, they were so careless, and 4 of them are victims. Yeah. They're all culpable. They all agreed to get on that dumb thing. But one of those people.
Let me show you one more thing that I thought this was. This is interesting. This is interesting to the whole story. It's weird how this is interesting. So James Cameron's movie Titanic. It revolves around the made-up story of Jack and
Rose.
Seriously, I'm being I'm speaking from a historical standpoint.
Okay. All right.
The real life historic Titanic with all the real life happenings that happened on the film revolves around the fictional story of Jack and Rose. There never was a real Rose. There never was a real Jack that went through this story. That's a fictional story that took place on a real thing that happened. So do you remember in the movie when the Titanic is going down, there is an old couple that decides they're just going to get in their bed and they lay down together in their bed and they die in their bed together. They decide not to go and get on the boat.
I forgot about
that.
So
if you rewatch the movie, there's an older couple, and I don't remember if they put on their nice gown and they're in their very elegant clothes and they get in their bed and they lay down together and they hold hands and they die going out together holding hands. Mm-hmm. All right, this older couple. That is based on a real couple that died on the Titanic.
Seriously? Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
The name of that couple is Isidore and Ida Strauss, a real couple that died on the Titanic. Wendy Rush, Stockton Rush, his wife, she is the great-great-granddaughter of Isidore and Ida Strauss, that famous couple who died on the Titanic. I can't make that bigger, but I ran across that yesterday and I looked it up and I was like, wow, how is that full circle crazy, man?
So do you think this counts as the last 5 Titanic victims? the last 5 victims
Somebody
of
said
the
that.
Titanic disaster.
Somebody said, somebody was trying to make a like an honorable thing by saying the Titanic, the folks down there are welcoming them, or something. And I was just like, oh, that's a little freaking morbid, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. Would these, they're not victims of the Titanic, but maybe they are technically victims of the Titanic, because if the Titanic wasn't at the bottom of the ocean, they wouldn't have been down there.
That's right.
So you're right. These are
That's
five.
right.
These are the
I mean,
five latest victims of the Titanic.
Yeah. So
the Titanic,
I mean, I don't know. I think somebody said
years later is still killing.
I heard somebody yesterday say the Titanic death count went up by 5.
Wow, that's exactly
and I'm like,
right.
you know what I mean?
All right.
So stupid. This whole thing was just so dumb. And it makes it, I don't know why I get so angry about this, but it really does make me mad. I don't want to dwell on it anymore. Okay. All right. Deke, you had some entertainment news, and and today's Friday, and I wanted to talk for just a moment about The Flash. I know everybody's real excited to watch this movie.
Yeah, you can tell by the box office smashing numbers on how much.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about that, and I'll talk about my story.
And I thought, just for a moment here, oh, what we could do is actually compare The Flash to the Titanic, because they both cost about $200 million. So,
nice.
So here, I know you love graphs. I love graphs. But it's been a week now since The Flash has been out, and I thought, hey, let's have a look at the performance of The Flash. So it's not this blue line. That's Aquaman. That's the biggest DC movie in the last 5 or 6 years, and it's not.
If they would have cast Jason Momoa as the Flash, that red line would be straight up there with that blue line. I'm telling you, as a straight heterosexual male, that line would be straight up there.
Yeah. So the Aquaman was a hit, right? And you remember the Black Adam movie? You remember the Black Adam movie? That was such a good movie. I don't know if you got to watch it yet.
No, I didn't.
A lot of people didn't watch it. It is somewhat considered to be a flop, because the Black Adam ended up making about $168 million, and it cost $200 million, which, if the way that profit and revenue profit works, means that it didn't make as much money as it even cost to film, which is not good. So that's a flop, right? And way down here in the corner, you can see that The Flash opening weekend is not only not as good as Black Adam, it's trending lower than the most recent DC flop. So it seems like nobody wants to watch this movie. and Warner Brothers is in a lot of trouble, because you know what comes after this movie? The next movie after this is The Blue Beetle. And let me tell you how excited I think Deacon is to see The Blue Beetle on film. Hold on. Let's get that face. The Blue Beetle.
Do what now?
Hey, maybe Booster Gold might be in it. What if Booster Gold's in the Blue Beetle, Deke? Wouldn't that be so exciting?
It would, because I don't know who that is, and so it would be awesome.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to see Jaime Ren. I think it's Jaime Ren. Whatever.
Are you just making up these words?
No, I'm not. So for real, Warner Brothers is like, you would think that they couldn't F things up as much as more than they already had. But they have this Flash movie starring one of the most recent comic book villains. You got Ezra Miller, you got Jonathan Majors, you got Tanook, what's his name, Namor, and there's another one. There's just a bunch of predators and
I know
bad guys.
The Jonathan Majors thing. There's supposedly his attorney has come out and said, "Oh, this is a bunch of smear bullshit, and we've got proof, and it's coming out." So
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Whatever. Why wouldn't you flood the public with that? Be like, here's the video.
As soon as everybody was like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, no. I think Jonathan Majors is done. I think that he's finished. and I think Marvel's in trouble a little bit. But Ezra Miller, it was like 4 years ago. Ezra Miller choked a woman in public in London. It was like last year that Ezra Miller kidnapped somebody and their kids and broke into somebody's house. This doesn't, like, you can't be surprised that people, anyway. So The Flash sucks.
Yeah.
Unless you go watch it. So, guys, prove me wrong.
1 minute.
Oh, I did want to add this just to see how Titanic. Oh, no, never mind. Forget it.
We can't go to my story right now because I have like 40 seconds.
I'm terrible at this job. You know, I can't see when your breaks are coming out.
That's why.
Morning, do good. I'll just talk to chat for a second.
That's what you got to do. All right. I can talk to you for
Good morning,
a second.
sir.
I'd much rather watch The Flash than Titanic. Yeah, okay. I will. I don't know, dude. You're not going to see. Yeah, I don't know. I had a big crush on Kate Winslet back in the day when I was still to this day. I think she's. Yeah. So I would.
I gotta tell you,
movie over.
I watched Titanic back in 1997, and that was a long movie in 1997. That was a 2 VHS tape movie. You had to stop the movie, take the tape out, put another tape in, and keep watching. It was so long. And I can remember exactly like 3 scenes from that movie. One of them is Jack doing art. And one of them is a rather steamy hand on the window of a car down in the bowels of the ship. And the third scene that I can remember of the Titanic is during the midst of the breaking up of the Titanic. There is a person that the ship starts to take on water at the hull breach and starts to cant upward, and the ship starts to go vertical. And as it's going vertical, people are scrambling to try to stay up. And somebody gets on the back of the boat and then falls and bounces off the propeller. And that is the best scene in the movie Titanic. That is so good. That is what I remember about the Titanic. All right. I hope we don't have to talk about the Titanic again for another 100 years. And if anybody else goes out in a submersible, you guys are fucking idiots. So stupid. All right, I think Deke wants to talk about Amelia Clark here, so let me get that ready. Planning. So this Marvel stuff that's coming up, we've got. I don't even know. What movies is Marvel even planning right now? Longest movie you ever had to sit through is 7 years in Tibet. Dugan, I remember watching that, but I don't remember. It might have been like on, I don't know, it might have been like on HBO, like way back in the day. I don't remember it being that long. I also don't remember it being that interesting. But Brad Pitt is pretty interesting to watch pretty much all the time. So, I don't know. Have you ever seen... 7
Years in Tibet? Yeah, that was a good movie, man. Good.
What happened in that movie? I don't remember. I've seen it once.
He was.
I don't remember it being long.
7 years.
That's it.
Yeah, that was
just doing
just hanging out,
monk stuff,
smoking weed with the monks over there. It was cool.
Yeah.
That's what you do in Tibet. You go over there and you smoke weed with the monks.
You can spend hours doing stuff you don't want to do for a girl.
Yeah, I guess that's weird. So I got a story here for you. Getting back to entertainment. And the headline for the story is weird, but this is not the part of the story that I wanted to read. Or the reason I shared it was because something else in the story that I thought, oh, JJ needs to hear this, and my geek Marvel contested champions friends all need to read this because this is pretty funny. So the article was Amelia Clark says it's easier keeping spoilers for Marvel's Secret Invasion that's now on Disney Plus than Game of Thrones. And you'll remember,
is it really? It's out.
I think so, because last night Ashley and them watched something on Disney Plus, and as I was going to bed, her and Kendra were in there, and she turned on Disney Plus, and I saw the thing go across the screen, and there was Nick Fury's face, and it said Secret Invasion. And I thought, oh, that's on. I might have to watch it. Anyway, you'll remember Amelia Clark was the Game of Thrones on there, and I guess she's on Secret Invasion. She says it's easier hiding stuff from Marvel, because she says all you got to do is tell them, dude, Marvel, I can't say anything. And people are like, oh yeah, okay. So that's what the whole thing is about. And this was basically Entertainment Weekly's, hey, you've got a new show coming out. We want to interview your people. Okay, you can interview Samuel Jackson and what's her name plays Maria Hill. And so they were just giving them, this is a press thing. Okay. But this is what Samuel L. Jackson said about, all right, so Secret Invasion star Samuel L. Jackson reprising blah, blah, blah. They also had issues with people flying drones over their sets while filming on location. They shot one down, Jackson says, and they followed one back to where dude was. They found him, and yeah, they got him. They didn't just hold up a picture of Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland and say, don't be like these guys, quips Don Cheadle, who's blah, blah, blah. There are worse examples than that, Jackson adds. I remember when we got ready to do Avengers, someone printed out a copy of my Avengers script that had my watermark on it, and they put it online for sale. I was shooting in Canada, and Marvel came to Canada. It had been printed in the production office. They found out who it was. Dude quit, left the country.
Whoa.
They then set up a fake buy for the script, and dude didn't show up. It was crazy.
Wow.
Oh, isn't that great? I thought when I was reading this article, I thought, that's hilarious, dude.
Marvel will straight murk you.
Colby Smulders, that's her name, Colby Smulders, yeah. Who plays Maria Hill, yeah.
Darren, I think about this. I think about this kind of, not a lot, but, anytime Marvel stuff comes up, I used to care. Like, I used to be so excited about Marvel movies. And so excited. I think I turned 30 when Iron Man came out.
God, that was 2 years ago?
Yeah. I turned 30 when Iron Man came out.
Jesus Christ.
I was so excited about that. And then I watched literally for 2 years while they were filming, maybe it was a year, while they were filming Guardians of the Galaxy, because I had read the Guardians comics, and I was so excited from 2011, 10, 11, 12, and they were making Guardians of the Galaxy with Chris Pratt, and I was like, this is going to be amazing. And when it was on nobody's radar. And it came out, and it was like one of my favorite movies. And now, dude, I can't even tell you what's out for Marvel.
You keep doing what they're doing. You do Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You do another. You keep these little. Quit making movies. People quit making movies. Movies are a novelty anymore. They need to focus on streaming programs like that. Big, huge streaming programs is where the $300-400 million for a movie. Stupid. Do streaming programs like that.
Okay,
that's where I think that's where it looks like to me is where the long-term money-making aspect is. You're not going to be like, who money, piles of money right here in your face. It's going to be like, in 10 years, this is going to pay off tremendously. You just have to have a little patience.
So let's talk about just this for just a second. Streaming movies. Is your back hurting? You gotta take a stroll. So, we are definitely led to believe that streaming is like where it's at, but it really looks like that none of the streaming services are making money.
Dude, how much money do you pay for a movie at the box office in the past 5 years compared to how much money you pay for streaming services for the past 5 years? And then add that.
That's true. But the costs of so So a movie, like a major tentpole movie, costs like $200 million and another $100 million in marketing. $300 million, big movie. But you can recoup most of those costs if your movie isn't terrible within like 20 weeks, right? It costs them 100 or more million for a TV show that has 10 episodes, and people watch the first one and then it drops off. And we've already seen, I think that I could probably find stories real quick of Disney Plus losing subscribers, Netflix like losing subscribers. The people sign up for these streaming things, but then they're like, nah, and cancel it.
As many as you think. They're not losing enough to kill their freaking bottom line. Because look at this right here. Oh crap.
And okay, let me say this one more thing. In the realm of movies, every studio puts its movie out, and we all have access to like, oh, how many tickets were sold, how many dollars were, like, we can see performance. They lie and they hide the performance of their streaming services. Netflix won't tell you how many people. They'll tell you like, oh, minutes watched or something like that.
Okay.
They will not tell you like, we made this much money. We are
Okay.
they obfuscate.
You can figure it out. How many paid subscribers does Netflix have? Netflix had around 232.5 million paid subscribers worldwide as of the first quarter of 2023. This marked an increase of 1.75 million subscribers compared with the previous quarter. So 232.5 million paid subscribers. I'm one of those. I don't pay for the $9.99 package. I have the 4-screen package. I pay $20 a month or something, okay? So Let's just assume that every single one of those 232.5 million paid subscribers only had the lowest package. JJ, that's $540 million a month.
That's a lot of money.
A month.
That's a lot of money.
And everyone don't have the lowest package.
So that's $6 billion a year, right? Mm-hmm. But then they have they have a lot of expenses. They have production expenses of like, oh, they're putting up new shows or whatever. They prop up studios to put it. But then they also have this is true for every streaming service. They also have all the hosting and bandwidth and website and all of this. And you can't achieve economies of scale because every one of these people that start up a new service have to put up new servers, new data centers, and that's not cheap. The bandwidth on that is not cheap. Right. If you're successful, it's bleeding you out.
You got a lot of overhead.
And then on top of all of that, you have just the social public kind of. It used to be. We would go to the movies, and then the Monday morning we would be like, at school or at work or whatever. Hey, did you see the movie? There would be like a social contagion of like people talking about a thing they saw. That doesn't exist with streaming at all. At all. It doesn't exist. I don't feel like it'll hit the news, a few news articles, and then like it'll disappear. A show could drop on streaming. Marvel just dropped the equivalent of an Avengers show on Disney Plus, and like I didn't even know.
That's a good point.
I didn't even know.
I didn't either. Yeah.
And so I think there's a little bit of like the heat of it capturing like the consciousness of the public for a while. And you really don't have under streaming, which is why I think they're going to try to release. They have an Echo TV show that they're gonna do this year. Echo. Did you watch the Hawkeye show? The Hawkeye TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Echo was like some character in that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I liked the little girl that played. What's her name? She's a little singer actress. We went to a concert with the kids one time, and she was one of the opening acts. Haley.
Yeah.
She was one of the opening acts, and she was all right, but. I thought when she got that part, I thought, oh, we've seen her in concert. And then when she acted, I thought she's not bad. She's not a bad.
Yeah, she wasn't bad.
Really likable character.
As far as the Hawkeye show goes, I thought she was fine. But
great.
Overall, they were like, oh, they took Hawkeye and they made him like a dumpy dude did almost nothing. Yeah, it was like, did you have to like make Hawkeye suck?
I'm fine.
Whatever,
don't make him suck because I've always been a Hawkeye lover,
Yeah, but he
got the shaft.
They were trying to adapt to that. Yeah.
Did you get my joke? Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. That's for you. So they were they were trying to adapt this one Hawkeye run where Hawkeye was kind of like this 20-something kind of like little bit of a couch surfing loser. But the Marvel Hawkeye was like a dad and an Avenger and whatever. So they kind of like brought his character down in order to lift up the girl Hawkeye. Fine.
I'm fine
But then
with
there was,
that.
yeah,
Fine
okay.
with that.
I just thought, and then there was the LARPing. I thought it was kind of terrible.
As the dad, oh, I love the LARPing. That was
Did you really? Okay.
was a
Nerd. I need to click a thing that says nerd. Okay, but
you do.
like-
You need ogre. You need ogre
Yeah.
for original nerds.
Nerd. There was this like fourth string character, maybe like sixth string character that like you almost didn't even know was in the show called Echo. Well, they're doing an Echo TV show, and Echo is deaf and has like a missing leg or something, like a prosthetic leg, and Marvel thought like this is going to be great. We're going to have like another Avenger character that we can have, and like nobody cares. And so they're releasing that entire show binge model.
It might be
Because-
good though. I mean, it might be good. I'm okay with taking these no names D-list characters and doing something with them because I just have to say 2 words: Purple Man.
Sure. I mean, you had David Tennant come in and do Purple Man. It was amazing.
But David Tennant could act as a lamppost in a
Yeah, for
TV
real.
show, and you would be given all the best fucking lamppost I've ever seen in my life. David Tennant just pulled off that lamppost so good.
Yeah.
But-
No, that was good.
But Purple Man wasn't a very attractive Marvel villain in the comic books, but
Right. It was,
in the TV show, it's like
well, they did something really
Whoa.
interesting with his character and made him like a real sinister
all I'm
guy.
saying is that they done that with the Purple Man. There is a possibility that they could do something with this character, this CD list character that we're saying, and make it
Okay. Now, okay, so this is the only other kind of thing. You kind of got to look at their deployment strategies. When Marvel released Andor, and when Marvel released Kenobi, and when Marvel released
Disney.
She-Hulk and Moon Knight, okay, these are all Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Disney's, yeah.
Yeah, all of those shows they did an episode, and you get another episode next week, and you get another episode next week, and you get another episode next week,
Right.
and that is the like tease them in and keep them in model. And we saw in at least in Kenobi, like viewers watched the first episode, and then viewership declined severely.
Right. We
And
talked about
I
that
never even
on here.
I never got through like the second or third episode of Andor, and like I was just like, no, whatever. So what is it? So what is the signal that we get from them taking a D-list character Echo, and they're not teasing it out to keep people coming back, but they're dumping it all at once, hoping that is it that they're hoping that the character makes an impact?
Maybe you're completely overanalyzing this, and we need
Maybe.
to once it's done with, we can realize that that was just a little bitty show to introduce this.
Right.
You know,
Well, we
maybe
got
something. And maybe it was like Loki. This is a little show, a side show, a in between. You know,
Maybe.
It's a segue show.
We'll
That's
see.
what I'm going to call them, a segue show. It's a segue show to segue into another thing and to kind of introduce something, and that's probably it might be what it is.
There is definitely like the Daredevil show coming out later this year. That one is one that people are going to watch. Daredevil Born Again.
I'm not like most people, and you know that, okay? So if there's like Daredevil and the Avengers and Captain America, or a show like, The Runaways, or, I'm going to watch the other show. I don't care about the Daredevil. I don't care.
All right.
That's great. I don't care.
So you're going to check out The Secret Invasion? Maybe? We'll see.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I got to talk real quick, but hang on.
All right, man. Oh, okay. Don't go yet. What do you guys think? What do you chitty chat? Let me go over to where's my Rumble? Nobody's chatting on Rumble. You guys, what do you think? Do good. What do you think? Are you interested in Secret Invasion? Did you watch any of the Marvel TV shows? What is it about some of these shows? I I just think that Marvel MCU they've put themselves in this place of like such low appeal, and yet somehow Warner Brothers did a worse job. Somehow Warner Brothers has done a worse job.
I'm sorry,
But-
we're gonna have to wrap it up because I'm getting.
Yeah, let's get going. Let's leave.
All right, so join
All
our. We appreciate you our struggling, sitting through our struggle fest this week. It seems like the past 2 weeks, JJ and I have been struggling, trying to get this show smoothed out. We got it smooth, and then we didn't, and now it's just kind of rough. So you just have to remember that we're two dads. We're your 2 dads, and we're not perfect. And your dad's not perfect either. But
that's true. He's not.
So join our Discord server. Look what look what your dad JJ did. I saw him out. He was in the garage. He had the hammer, nails. There's duct tape everywhere. He built this for you last night. It's not the best looking thing. Don't tell him it looks nice. It hurts his feelings. So good job, JJ. It looks really pretty. You did a fantastic job. No, so click on the to join our Discord server.
That little thing and gets you to our Discord. You can chat with us. You can send us better jokes than we have.
No, you do awesome. I can't do what you do. It's awesome. Great job.
Whatever.
I'm serious. I'm being serious. I'm trying to give you some love.
All right, I'm gonna go first because this one is gonna leave a bad taste in your mouth. So you're gonna have to do something else. You ready?
Yeah.
Why do scuba divers fall backward into water?
Why?
Because if they fell forward, they'd be in the boat.
That's pretty good. I can't
stop.
I was going to tell a submarine joke initially, but I'm not. I thought that was beneath me.
Oh.
So my joke today is last month I got on Amazon and I bought this Sylvester Stallone body pillow. It looks just like Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
It's like him when he was in his 20s or in his late 20s, early 30s in the Rocky persona. So he's all ripped and glistening and whatnot. And so Ashley and I, we put it in the middle of our bed. And so we sleep with it in the middle of our bed. Are you getting this mental picture? Because I'm trying to paint it very well in your head.
There's Ashley, glistening.
There's the glistening Rocky pillow. And then there's me. And so ever since we got this Sylvester Stallone pillow to put in between, I think it's been Rocky between us.
Oh yeah, right.
I said his name there a second ago.
Woo! He got it. He got it out. He got the joke out. All right. Thanks for watching the show. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. We'll be back next week. And actually, we might not. I don't know. I'm going on vacation. We might not be.
We're probably not going to be here next week because JJ is going on vacation, and I don't want him to do a show next week while he's on vacation.
My wife didn't want me to do a show either.
Yeah, you're not. You're not going to. So we'll see you when we see you, and I might be on our Discord server during the day doing some stuff live on the chat. So if you see me in there, just log on, and I'll have the camera on, and I might be farting around the station.
Ooh, watch some cats.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh my God.